Information right at students' fingertips.
That's something I think is really important to bring into the classroom.
How teachers turned a distraction into a valuable teaching tool. And prom is kind of a big deal, but it can also be a big expense. How one high schooler is helping her peers get to the dance without breaking the bank. Plus, find out why this Vancouver teacher got to throw out the first pitch at a Mariners game. Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Chad Young. Pretty much anywhere you go, you'll see teenagers clicking away on their phone or tablets. And now with the supervision of teachers, you can see them doing that in the classroom. It's We Learn, where we take a look at how students and teachers are using technology in class. We Learn correspondent Mark Ray has more.
It's easy to think of devices like smartphones or tablets as nuisances or something to kill time when you're bored. But students in several classrooms are using them to improve their learning.
So in the face of conflicts of neighbors, Brigham Young decided to abandon Navo and establish...
Zoe Clute is sharing information with her classmates, but she's not reading it out of a book. It's an iPad, and she discovered the material online. Students in Matt Greco's class in Alki Middle School are in the BYOD program, or Bring Your Own Device.
iPads, smartphones, laptops, that students can have instant information at their fingertips.
When the teacher feels it's appropriate, students pull out their devices. Aaron Newman uses his laptop to take notes.
I found that I've had the skill to be able to quickly change back from each screen or the presentation that's going on, and I can take notes on it. Okay.
Connecting to the school's wireless internet network, the students also conduct research. The internet resources aren't replacing textbooks or library books, they're enhancing them.
And so the internet's a really useful resource for that because I can research anything I want to in class and still be paying attention.
And so they're able to find speeches and documents and letters that are written that the books wouldn't have. And so it allows it a lot faster without leaving the classroom and staying in our own environment.
The online research is filtered through the district's internet system, which filters out any potentially distracting or negative content. And the students help the teacher come up with a code of conduct to keep themselves from going off track.
We know it's not useful to our learning, and we know we have to be paying some kind of attention.
Of course, not every student has a smart device, so Mr. Greco makes desktop computers available in his classroom. But he says the students don't often have use for them.
There's been more of a camaraderie in the classroom, using things and saying, I have this student may not, and they can use that together.
Basically, anybody that has a device, people will migrate to it, and they do that in their social lives too. When somebody has their new iPad or anything, people come and look at it and want to play with it and that kind of stuff. And so it works really well in the classroom too, because somebody will have information and want to share it.
The sharing of information makes the lessons move quickly and keeps kids engaged.
I think it's really a great privilege, and I think most schools should have it.
Right now, the BYOD program is in its pilot stage. It's in effect at Alki, Skyview, and Columbia River High Schools. The school district is looking at expanding the program for next year. For In the Know, I'm Mark Ray.
Thanks, Mark. You know, he isn't just our We Learn correspondent. He's also the reigning state teacher of the year. And on a recent Saturday, he got another honor, a chance to throw out the first pitch at a Mariners game.
Mark, let's see what you got out there.
The Mariners honored Mark during the first Saturday home game of the year, along with other award-winning teachers. As part of his duties as Teacher of the Year, the teacher librarian has also done some traveling to represent the district. He is the first educator from Southwest Washington to ever win the award. In late April, Mark gets to go to our nation's capital to meet President Obama. You can hear more from Mark on what it's been like to be the Teacher of the Year on a new show produced by Vancouver Public Schools TV studio. It's called Snapshot, and it's an in-depth look into our schools. Elena Buller is the host. If you're watching on Comcast, Snapshot debuts after this episode of In the Know. And it's also available on the district's YouTube page, youtube.com/VanSDTV. Also on Snapshot, a profile of Matt Posguy, a Skyview student with cystic fibrosis. He first caught our attention as a speaker at Alki Middle School's annual WOW Day. Matt gave a presentation to students at the school's Wellness Awareness event. WOW Day ran students through a series of speakers and exercises designed to steer them in positive directions. Motivational speaker Davin Harmerling, a former Washington State basketball player, spoke to an eager group about personal achievement. In the gym, students played Bump as a charity fundraiser. PE and health teacher Rob Flanagan helped organize the day and says it's always a highlight of the school year.
It's a special day for us. The kids looking forward to it. The teachers look forward to moving around and seeing other people speak also. And just hearing someone besides us, the regular teachers every day speaking, catches the kids' attention.
Students rotated throughout the day to learn about different aspects of wellness, including relationships with other people. Students at Felida Elementary School get a lesson in healthy living from a Portland trailblazer. Rookie point guard Nolan Smith stopped by Felida along with his sister Sydney to talk to kids about heart health. Their foundation, the Sydney and Nolan Smith Foundation, teamed up with the American Heart Association for this special assembly. They talked to students about how to prevent heart disease. As they demonstrated with the kids, it's all about healthy eating and regular exercise. Joining Nolan and Sydney was the Blazers' mascot, Blaze the Trail Cat. Public schools have a duty to educate all children, and every child's situation is different. So for students with special needs, Vancouver Public Schools is taking a new approach.
Hands down, some of the best experiences she's had in school.
Erin Croft's daughter, Lauren, is in many ways a typical teenager with typical teenage friends.
They text, they call her, they go to dances together.
Lauren has special needs, but her friends at Skyview see her as just one of the gang.
They just have really taken her in, not as the poor little handicapped girl, but as Lauren, who is full of life and loves to do all those things that regular girls like to do.
Lauren spends part of every school day in special education classes and part in regular classrooms. Starting next year, more students like Lauren will get the same chance. Vancouver Public Schools is changing how it approaches special education.
So we had learning support, which is where a student is in general education and they get extra help in learning support. And we had life skills, where they were totally separated, but we didn't have anything in between.
For students who would thrive if given the chance to learn with their peers, the district will offer IACs, that's Intensive Academic Centers. High schoolers will focus on transitioning to jobs. Students will learn in regular classrooms, but will also have the extra support they need.
The students who have access to general ed curriculum, studies have shown, are more successful when they graduate from high school. And that's what we want to do for our special ed students.
But it goes beyond academics.
She gets a chance to really stretch herself intellectually, but then she also has a chance to intermingle with her peers, which she loves.
For us to understand how to be together and respect each other as human beings, I think is just as much a function of school as academics.
Julianne Douglas's daughter, Peyton, is in special ed at Lakeshore Elementary. She's glad her daughter has the chance to be around other girls her age.
I feel like having her be alongside them has been really great for them in terms of learning she's more like them than she is different, and great for her learning how to be with her typical peers. And
that's the whole idea, is to give all of our kids that can as much access to their society, their community, so that as they grow up, they'll be a part of that community as well.
This new program will be available next fall for parents and students who are interested in taking part. Parents who like their children's current education plan can stick with what's working for them. Students with special needs get a chance to show off for their classmates at Lincoln Elementary. Accompanied by their teacher, the students sang 4 or 5 songs at one of Lincoln's regular spirit assemblies. The students worked hard to learn the words and dance moves and were excited to perform them in front of their school. They even sang a song about their principal, Mr. Homnick. Earlier that week, the students performed for a local church. At the same assembly, other students competed in a clashing clothing competition to determine who had the most school spirit. Families at King Elementary School celebrate the legacy of Cesar Chavez by cleaning up their school. The parent-teacher organization, along with staff member Eddie Esparza, organized the event. Volunteers fanned out over the grounds at King, picking up trash and debris. They were inspired by some pretty impressive leaders.
Basically following the paths of Cesar Chavez and following his footsteps and the teachings of Dr. King and Mahatma Gandhi, really working out there and doing our best to make a difference.
After the cleanup was done, the families gathered in King for a home-cooked Mexican meal, followed by dancing. One of the goals of the event was to introduce neighbors to neighbors and encourage kids to be engaged with their community. For many teenagers, prom is one of the most important days of their lives, but it can also be a very expensive day, which sometimes prevents kids from getting to experience it. At Hudsons Bay High School, a program called Dreams Coming Alive gives girls a chance to glam it up cheap. For just $5, they can pick out a dress, or it's free if they exchange last year's dress. Junior Christina Chen and National Honor Society advisor Eric Saueracker organized the event and say the need is huge.
It's a fairy tale day. Everyone wants the perfect date and the perfect dress and just smiles and good memories.
At Hudsons Bay alone, we have 55% of our student body qualifies for free and reduced lunch, and so the added expense of purchasing a prom dress can be pretty substantial.
The giveaway event is Saturday, April 21st, and is open to any student from a Vancouver public school. Girls can pick out dresses, shoes, and accessories from noon to 3 p.m. You can donate used dresses up until the day before, Friday, April 20th. Just drop off your dress at the front desk of the school. High school teachers don't often get a chance to leave their classrooms as a new bunch of students arrive every period. But as Nick Vole reports, some of them are getting a hall pass, which lets them into other teachers' classes.
Clipboards in hand, a group of teachers at Hudsons Bay High School invades a classroom that isn't their own. The mission? To observe how other teachers teach.
I really like to be able to see the strategies that they do and think about how I could incorporate those into my own classroom.
In this teacher walk, the observers examined whether student discussions matched up with their learning goals. Scheduled talk time for students lets them learn from each other.
If they can explain something to another student, that really boosts confidence. Hey, I know how to do this skill, let me help you do it. And
that's sort of like what happens on these walks. Teachers look to each other for new techniques.
I know as we were trying to figure out which groups we wanted to, they wanted to see different departments than they work in because they wanted different strategies and sometimes an English teacher can take something from a science teacher. And
those new ideas translate to better presentations in class, which means better understanding by students. Teachers are glad for the chance to develop their skills.
I just think it's kind of a neat process. I really like being able to see what other teachers are doing. And
I think it's a good way to learn strategies and learn from each other, and we're our most valuable people to learn from.
For In the Know, I'm Nick Vole.
Teachers at Hudsons Bay, Columbia River, and Fort Vancouver all took part in teacher walks. You can take your own walk through Hudsons Bay High School on one of the school district's regular patron tours. A patron tour gives people a chance to get into the classroom to see what students are learning. The upcoming tour is on Friday, April 27th, and will take you to the Bay and McLaughlin Middle School. The tour starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bates Center on Falk Road and ends at 1 p.m. It's free. To sign up, go to the district's webpage, vansd.org. Students at Vancouver School of Arts and Academics get a shot at Broadway on one of Portland's biggest stages.
We truck to the left, we truck to the right. 5, 6, 4, ups and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 right, 4 left, truck right.
When the touring company of the Broadway musical Memphis rolled into town, it sent a choreographer to VSAA to teach students a song and dance routine. They had just one day to perfect it before joining the cast for a special preview performance. That same night, students sang and danced in the Durst Theater, which is just a fifth of the size of Keller Auditorium in Portland. That night, the students were part of the show's finale, singing and dancing down the aisles. That just about does it for us. Thanks for watching In the Know, and remember that you can see past episodes on the district's YouTube page. That's youtube.com/vansdtv. Until next time, I'm Chad Young.